Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Atia at Booking It with Atia. Today we are going to do the Trope Tag. I originally found this tag while watching Zoe's All Booked. This is her original tag, so I will link that video down below. And essentially the premise behind this tag is dealing with all the tropes we hate collectively. Maybe you like them. Some books that fit those prompts. So this book is upside down. There are 6 different prompts and I'm just going to jump right in. So prompt number 1, eavesdropping with miscommunication. This is a book that you heard great things about and expected to love but ended up hating. This was so easy. We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchison. That book was so boring. Oh my goodness. It was so whiny. It was so science fiction, but not. And it was just... I was disappointed. I wanted to DNF, but I was like 70-75% of the way through it. I was also buddy reading it with someone, so I just pushed through, but I did not enjoy that book at all. I was already on the fence about Sean David Hutchison's writing. And so that book confirmed that his writing's just not for me. And that is okay, I guess. But that book is so hyped. It is so hyped on BookTube. Which is like, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has different tastes. But I was really expecting to love it and have it, be saying some grand moral thing about the world and the universe and our place here and humanity's worth saving. And it was really annoying. It was really annoying. Alright, so the second one, Love Triangle. Name a series where you can't pick your favorite book. This one was slightly difficult for me, just like pinpointing which series that A, I've completed, and B, that I don't know my favorite book in that series. And so the Lunar Chronicles came to mind. This is actually one of the new covers because they redid the covers. And I love this series. If you ask me what are my favorite series, it's automatically Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Red Queen series, and the Lunar Chronicles. And it's a 4-book series. I don't know which one's my favorite. I've been planning on doing a reread, so probably by the end of this year, I'll be able to answer that question. But as of now, I can't. So what is this about? I'll start with what Cinder is about. This is a Cinderella retelling. It's sci-fi. It's set in a futuristic world where there are robots and cyborgs and AIs and human beings all collectively living in this world. And so this takes place in what would be modern day... Oh, it's in New Beijing. Alright, so 16-year-old Cinder, a gifted mechanic, is a cyborg. She's a second-class citizen with a mysterious past and is reviled by her stepmother. But when her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Kai's, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and forbidden attraction. Caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal, she must uncover secrets about her past in order to protect her world's future. Because there is something unusual about Cinder, something that others would kill for. I just love these covers. I'm going to put the other ones right here. They're just so beautiful. But yeah, I don't know which book in this series is my favorite. I flew through this series when I first discovered it. Like I was part way through the second book and then I bought the third and the fourth and I literally just binge read them. So I guess for me, I remember them as one experience because I read them back to back. So maybe this time I'll read them with some space in between and then pick a favorite, unless they're all my favorite. Then what do you do? Alright, number 3. Not Like Other Girls, Didn't Know I'm Beautiful.
I hate that trope so much.
Anyways, name a book that has a pretty cover but was boring as hell. If you have watched my May wrap-up, and I think you should, you know that I was highly anticipating a particular book by a particular author because they wrote one of my favorite series and it disappointed me. And that book is Betrothed by Kiera. I had such high hopes. Not that it was going to be super well written. Maybe I did have hopes for that. I just had hopes that the love, and of course the love triangle, because that's kind of what we get in the selection, but not really. But I was just hoping this would be better than it was. It was boring. The writing was bleh. The only reason I still have this book is because I have not decided if I'm going to continue on with the duology, because there's another book coming out. I also still have it because of nostalgia. Like, if this was not written by the author of one of my favorite series, then it would be an on-haul pile, you know? So I don't really know what to do with this one. This is about, what is her name? Bryn Briar Hollis, right? She lives in this royal place, and she gets the attention of the king, and everyone's like, the king won't settle down, but they want him to find a wife, and so he starts courting her, blah, blah, blah. And then she, like, wants to prove that she has what it takes to be queen, but again, like I said, there's a love triangle, which literally made no sense. I wasn't invested at all. I thought the decisions she made were so stupid. So yeah, there's that. 4, all-consuming love. Name a book that gave you a book hangover. So a book that when you finished it, you couldn't stop thinking about it. You couldn't stop reading it when you were reading it. And this, I have a few. Initially, I was going to talk about Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky, but I feel like every video since ever, I've talked about that book because I love it so much. I mean, it's a great book and everyone should read it. But another book that comes to mind is actually a collection of poetry by Jericho Brown called The Tradition. The writing in this is so beautiful, it's so captivating, it's so moving. Jericho Brown knows how to really tug at your heartstrings and capture your attention in as little words as possible. I think the form in some of these poems is exceptional. I can't even explain to you the particular poem I'm thinking about, where I was just so impressed by how it was structured. Loved it. I really did. And I do want to read it again. But I've been giving it some space. I highlighted so much in here. Underlined and tabbed up and everything. Like, every page had a gem on it. 5th prompt, douchebag boyfriend. Name a book that took you a while to get into, but you ended up loving. If you have watched my mid-month wrap-up, which I don't know if that's going to come out before or after this video, probably before, then I talk about this in my mid-month wrap-up, and it is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is about 2 black girls in a world where sirens and other mythical beings exist. One of our characters is a siren. Being a siren is essentially, like, not a good thing. People hunt sirens in this world, and it's an interesting commentary on being a black girl and using your voice and standing up for yourself, and how to do that in a world that literally hates you and blames you when you are harmed or killed. And I loved it. It was exceptional. It did take me a little bit to get into, but once I was in it, it was amazing. 2nd prompt has nothing to do with the book, but it's essentially tell us your favorite or least favorite trope. So my favorite trope is definitely enemies to lovers. I don't know what it is about that. I just really enjoy it. I think it's just because it's usually so messy and so chaotic. And I love the journey that characters go on from being enemies or like competition to being lovers. So that is my favorite trope.
I don't know what I was talking about because my favorite trope is definitely the fake dating trope, but I guess these two are, equals in my mind. But I just had to clarify that.
My least favorite trope, and I've talked about this so many times, is the miscommunication trope that leads to everyone just acting stupid. I hate that. And it's like, you're grown adults, just communicate and stop miscommunicating and then getting inside your head and then blowing up this new relationship because you thought you heard something or the person misspoke, so now you freak out. And it's like real life stuff, but I hate it so much. I hate it. Like, I can usually see it coming from a mile away in a romance book, and I'm just like, okay. My favorite romance books are usually the ones that don't have the miscommunication trope. And there's some other barrier or obstacle that pops up. But yeah, that is it for the Nope Trope tag. Make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up. Comment down below, which trope do you hate or love? Doesn't have to be one in this video. It could be a totally different one. Make sure you are subscribed and that you have clicked the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Check out all of my social media. Check out my blog and my Goodreads profile, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me, I'm in the sky.